On the run-up to Budget 2017, what are the key stocks that we need to watch out for? Varinder Bansal joins in early this morning with the key stocks to focus on this budget. Hi Varinder, good morning.
Well, good morning to both of you. No prices for guessing. ITC, as always, is the top stock to watch out for. But, ITC, you have to understand that the GST will be implemented going ahead in July, what they're saying. And hence, the excise rates this time may not be that important. The brokerages are estimating that if the excise hike is less than 10%, 10% or less than 10%, it will be positive for ITC. And if it's more than 12%, it will be bad for ITC. Remember, there's a concessional cess, what the government has told, that will be applicable in the GST. That word may not come in the budget because that is more important to understand what could be the total quantum of tax on cigarettes, when the GST gets implemented. So for ITC, still people are expecting that it could be near 10% what the market is expecting because of the GST thing. Coming on upstream companies like ONGC and All India, I think this is one of the biggest expectation this time, which is up in the budget, that there could be cut in cess on ad valorem rate, which was 20% last time, to 8 to 10%. If this happens, because remember last time when the arithmetics was done by the government in the last budget, the situation was very different because crude was trading at the lowest level, it has crashed, and the exchange rate was nearly 65, 66, and now it has changed completely. Hence, the people are expecting that if it is half this time, the cess on ad valorem rates of 20%, there could be EPS upgrade of as high as 15% for ONGC and All India, which is important. There could be cut in excise duty on crude oil, on the motor fuel. Remember, it is government has taken 9 times hike this time, and they have been collecting huge money. It is very difficult for government to cut in excise duty, but still that is an expectation, because if there is 1% cut in excise duty, that means that the government has to forego 15,000 crore rupees. So that is not easy because of considering the physical deficit we are sitting in. But if that happens, if it has to happen, that will be negative for OMCs. Agrochemicals could be important space to watch out for today, because if any talks are there that there could be high import duty on the domestic agrochemical producers. So clearly, if this comes, will be positive for Rallis, PI Industries, Dhanuka Agritech, UPL, and all others. Corporate tax rate, you have to understand if the corporate tax rate is cut by 1 to 2%, which is again a big expectation this time, because the government has already mentioned 3 years back that it has to be reduced by 5%. 2 years have passed, nothing has been done. So hence this time it is there that it could be done by 1 to 2%. All the corporates, all the companies which don't have any phasing out of duty, which haven't taken any tax benefits in the past many years, are the one to watch out for, and they will benefit the most, because if there is 1% cut in terms of corporate tax, the EPS will go up by anywhere between 1 to 2% for some of the companies. Companies like Bharti Airtel, LSE Housing Finance, Tata Communication, Yes Bank, PVR, Dish TV, ITC, Jubilant Foods. These are the companies who have never taken any tax benefits. On the other side, tax benefits are done by what? ITSZ, Pharma. These are the companies which take some of the benefits. Also, there's a lot of talk that housing finance companies, the benefit what we get in terms of 2 lakh rupees, it could be increased to 3 or 4 lakh rupees. If that happens, that will be major positive for all the housing finance companies. Fertilizers, it's a double thing which is going on, that the DBT may come or the subsidy bill may get increased. So watch out for that, which will be there. Ashok Leyland, the scrappage policy is very important. If the scrappage policy comes in, companies like Ashok Leyland are the important to watch out for. PSU Bank recapitalization, it has been mentioned that it was Indradhanush, which was done 3 years back. It is only 10,000 crores this time. But also, a lot of people are talking about the bad bank theory coming in. If that happens, watch out for all these PSU banks. It's an idea which was not well taken by Raghuram Rajan. But now there's a change in RBI guard. So, maybe this may happen this time. PSU dividends, again, there was 53,000 crores, which was done last year. If that gets increased, so all these PSUs could be important. Also, a word on the strategic stake sale of some of the SIC PSUs is very important. If this happens, all these SIC companies like ITI, MTNL, IFCI, STC, MTC could be important to watch out for. And otherwise, all these textiles, leather companies, they are always in the news for whatever the budget could help for export-oriented, and all, much and more labor-intensive industries. But for me, the most important will be ITC, ONGC, All India, Agrochemicals, fertilizers, and PSU banks.
Okay.